After nearly 2 decades of conquering the world of football, Lionel Messi entered the 2026 World Cup with one final goal: to leave his mark on what could be the last World Cup of his career. And he did exactly that in the opening match. Against Algeria in Kansas City, Messi scored a stunning hat-trick, leading Argentina to a 3-0 victory and tying Miroslav Klose's World Cup record of 16 goals, a milestone that had stood for more than a decade. 38 years old. A World Cup hat-trick. A historic achievement. That should have been the only story of the night. But just hours after the final whistle, social media exploded over something entirely different. Not a goal, not an assist, but a challenge involving Messi that sparked fierce debate among fans, former referees, and football analysts. Did the referee overlook a major mistake, or was this simply a controversy amplified by the reputation of the player involved? Stay with us until the end of the video, because this story is about much more than a single decision on the pitch. It also raises a bigger question about how football treats its greatest superstars. From the opening minutes in Kansas City, Argentina showed exactly why they were still considered one of the leading contenders for the 2026 World Cup title. The defending champions came out with incredible intensity. Just minutes into the match, Lautaro Martinez forced the Algerian goalkeeper into a brilliant save. The pressure kept building. Then came the moment tens of thousands of Argentine fans had been waiting for. Messi found the back of the net. The stadium erupted. But the celebration did not last long. The offside flag was raised. VAR confirmed that the goal would not stand. Yet the surprises were far from over. Only moments later, Algeria responded in dramatic fashion. A rapid attacking move ended with a clinical finish that beat Emiliano Martinez. This time, it was the Algerian supporters celebrating. But VAR stepped in once again. After a review, the goal was also ruled out for a very tight offside decision. 2 disallowed goals. 2 VAR interventions. All within the opening 10 minutes of the match. It was a reminder that at the World Cup, the difference between glory and disappointment can sometimes be measured in mere centimeters. As the game gradually settled, Argentina began to take complete control. And then, the man wearing the number 10 shirt started doing what he has done for nearly 2 decades. Lionel Messi was about to turn this match into a night that belonged entirely to him. Lionel Messi was about to make this match a night of his own. After the chaotic opening minutes, with 2 goals ruled out by VAR, Argentina began to impose themselves in familiar fashion. They controlled possession. They pushed Algeria deeper into their own half. And they constantly looked to their captain. This time, when the opportunity arrived, Messi did not miss. He opened the scoring with a composed finish, giving Argentina the lead they deserved. But one goal was not enough. As Algeria pushed forward in search of an equalizer, spaces began to open up. Messi punished them once again. His second goal gave Argentina complete control of the match and sent the atmosphere inside the stadium to another level. Then, in the second half, the historic moment finally arrived. Messi completed his hat-trick with a precise finish into the far corner of the net. The entire stadium seemed to rise to its feet. Not just the Argentine supporters. Even neutral fans understood they were witnessing something special. 3 goals. A 3-0 victory. And most importantly, Messi had tied Miroslav Klose's World Cup record of 16 goals. An achievement that had long been considered one of the most difficult records to reach. Everything seemed perfect. But as soon as the match ended, a video clip began spreading across social media. And within just a few hours, it had sparked the biggest controversy of the entire game. And within just a few hours, it had become the biggest talking point of the match. The incident occurred shortly after Messi's first goal. At first glance, it looked like nothing more than a routine challenge between 2 players. The game continued. There was no whistle, no card was shown, and there was no significant interruption to play. But once slow-motion replays began circulating across social media, everything quickly changed. In the widely shared footage, Messi challenges Algerian defender Isma Mandi for the ball. Some camera angles appear to show contact around Mandi's lower leg. Following the collision, the Algerian defender remained on the ground and required treatment from the medical staff. What fueled the debate was not whether contact occurred. Everyone could see that contact had been made. The real question centered on the referee's decision. Why was no card shown at all? Even if the challenge was not serious enough to warrant a red card, many believed it could still have deserved a yellow. Yet the reality was that Messi walked away from the incident without receiving any form of disciplinary action. That fact alone intensified the controversy. Within hours of the final whistle, clips of the challenge had spread across virtually every social media platform. Slow-motion replays were analyzed frame by frame. Fans debated it. Pundits debated it. Former referees also began offering their own interpretations. And the more angles that surfaced, the more complicated the discussion became. Because not everyone saw the same thing. Some believed it was a dangerous challenge worthy of a sending off. Others argued that it was nothing more than a standard foul. But almost everyone agreed on one point. This was not the kind of incident people expected to end without any card being shown. And that was when members of the football community began speaking out. In many past refereeing controversies, a general consensus was usually reached fairly quickly. This time, that did not happen. Shortly after the match, former referees and football law experts offered completely different interpretations of Messi's challenge. Some argued that the incident was serious enough to warrant consideration for a red card. According to their view, the point of contact and the manner in which Messi entered the challenge created a significant risk of injury to the opposing player. Had the referee or VAR reached a different conclusion, a sending off would not have been considered a surprising outcome. However, many other experts viewed the incident differently. They argued that the challenge did not reach the threshold for a red card. Yet even those who defended that position acknowledged that a yellow card would have been a reasonable decision. And that is where the most important part of the debate emerged. The discussion was not really about whether the challenge deserved a yellow card or a red card. It was about why no card was shown at all. On social media, fans quickly split into two camps. One side argued that the incident was being exaggerated simply because the player involved was Lionel Messi. The other side raised a much bigger question. If the player making that challenge had not been Messi, would the referee's decision have been the same? It is a question that has followed football for many years. And the 2026 World Cup has reignited that debate once again. Because this is far from the first time that a decision involving Messi has sparked discussion about how football's biggest superstars are treated on the pitch. Throughout more than 2 decades at the highest level of football, Lionel Messi has been involved in numerous debates related to refereeing decisions. From the Champions League to the Copa America and the World Cup, controversial calls have often followed the biggest stars in the game. And Messi is no exception. But this story is not really about Messi alone. It touches on a debate that has existed in football for many years. Do superstars receive different treatment on the pitch? Can reputation unintentionally influence decisions that must be made within seconds? No one can prove that with absolute certainty. Yet whenever a controversial incident involves one of the sport's biggest names, the question inevitably returns. And the Argentina versus Algeria match is simply the latest example. Because regardless of which side fans support in this debate, one thing stands out. Very few people are still talking about Argentina's 3-0 victory or Messi's historic hat trick. Instead, almost all attention has shifted toward a single challenge. That is often how refereeing controversies work. They have a way of overshadowing even the most memorable moments. And while the debate continued to spread across social media, there was one team that was almost forgotten amid all the noise. That team was Algeria. Looking at the 3-0 scoreline, many people might assume this was a comfortable victory for Argentina. But the match itself told a different story. Algeria did not come to the 2026 World Cup simply to make up the numbers. In the opening minutes alone, they caused plenty of problems for the defending champions. At one point, Algerian supporters even believed their team had taken the lead. The attacking move that resulted in a goal later disallowed by VAR demonstrated the quality and confidence within this Algerian side. They attacked quickly on the counter. They created dangerous moments. And for long stretches of the game, they showed no fear against one of the strongest national teams in the world. Of course, Argentina's quality eventually made the difference. But this defeat is far from the end of the road. The World Cup journey is still ahead of them. And if they continue performing the way they did in the opening match, Algeria are more than capable of causing problems for every remaining opponent in their group. Even so, when the final whistle sounded, all eyes remained fixed on one man: Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi. In the end, he was still the name everyone was talking about after the match. Not because of the controversy, but because of what he had just accomplished. 3 goals. A 3-0 victory, and a milestone that very few people ever believed could be reached. 16 World Cup goals, level with Miroslav Klose's record. An achievement that took 4 World Cups to establish, and stood for more than a decade as one of the greatest records in football history. Now, Messi stands alongside it. What makes the story even more remarkable is that the journey is not over yet. Argentina still have matches ahead, and that means Messi has a very real opportunity to become the highest-scoring player in World Cup history. At 38 years old, in what could be the final World Cup of his career. No matter how long the controversy surrounding this match continues, history will remember this as the night Messi took another major step towards cementing his place among the greatest players the game has ever seen. But the question remains, will that be what people remember most about this match? But the question remains, will that really be what people remember most about this match? A few weeks from now, as the 2026 World Cup continues, the debate surrounding the challenge involving Mandy may gradually fade away. FIFA may choose not to take any further action, and it is entirely possible that the only thing fans will remember is Messi's historic hat trick. But maybe not. Because football has always been a combination of unforgettable moments and debates that never truly end. What do you think? Did that challenge deserve a yellow card, a red card, or no card at all? And perhaps even more importantly, how many goals do you think Messi will finish the 2026 World Cup with? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy World Cup stories analyzed in a balanced and objective way, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and join us throughout this incredible tournament journey.